started.
Okay.
Hello to Claire Aristides, our mindfulness expert and coach, joining us on the Rescue Expert panel. Delighted to have you here today. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Please share with our audience some of your extra stellar background and the work that you've been doing with private clients and also with corporates.
So my background is, the short long story is, after finishing art psychology, I went into the corporate world and was working for Lend-Lease and KPMG, the Financial Times in the UK. I left that and I started my own jewelry brand. And during the process of my jewelry brand, I suffered burnout. So I was going through IVF, I was going through fertility, I was under huge stress. I put humongous stress on myself with this brand and it became an obsession. And I came back to what I call my dear friend, clinical hypnotherapy. And I saw a hypnotherapist for a year. And we did two things. We de-stressed me because I was a total wreck, stressed out. And we worked on my confidence about myself as a business, running my own business, delegating to staff, my confidence about my brand. So we worked on, and also we worked on IVF. So we worked on personally and professionally together, this sort of two-pronged approach for 12 months. And it had a profound impact on my life. And so I decided to train as a clinical hypnotherapist. And I started coaching people and doing one-on-one therapy. And that's really led now into creating the digital platform, which is Mindology, and doing workshops, which are all happening via Zoom now.
One of the things I'm so excited and delighted to bring to our rescue readers is a new way to access neuroplasticity, the power of their mind, and also the ability to take charge of the things that were kind of sitting beneath the surface of our consciousness. And I think the way, when I discovered Mindology app, I really loved the visualization processes you take people through. I like the really simple exercises and tools that you can incorporate into your everyday. But what you'll deep dive for us on with the rescue articles and the Zoom videos that we'll record is some really super strategies that can be applied straight away. So today I want to unpack something that you brought to my attention, which I love, which was about being able to have an always curious mind, and you call it, the understanding a growth mindset. So talk me through the concept of a growth mindset and how a mindfulness coach would kind of hold the hand of a client through the growth mindset.
So just first of all, with Mindology and hypnotherapy, why I was so drawn to it is because one of the how it differs from meditation is that it's goal orientated. So you're calming yourself and you're relaxing yourself, but you're also at the same time aiming to empower yourself. So that's why I've chosen this or I'm so drawn to it. So how that fits with growth mindset is that Carol Dweck, a professor of psychology from Stanford, coined it or termed it quite a few years ago. So it's not a new concept, but what she proposed is that when you have an attitude of learning from mistakes, accepting that challenges happen, we're not perfect, put yourself out there, rather than staying in your comfort zone and to fear of failure.
Yeah,
that's what's called a growth mindset. And it doesn't mean that you're perfect and you succeed every time, but you also don't necessarily beat yourself up if you don't succeed. You sort of look at the situation and go, what can I learn and how can I improve myself? So it's a really I think it's a intelligent way to frame meditation and calming yourself, because you're also wanting to empower and learn. And it doesn't mean that we don't accept ourselves and love ourselves, but it's a way we can work on the areas that we want to improve on and change our negative behaviors by adopting this open attitude towards being the best we can of ourselves and the best version of ourselves.
And how do you do that in a climate of fear, of anxiety? You know, the world has certainly shifted us. So even people who are really on a really straight kilter may have shifted towards the more anxious or fear of the unknown. And I think that this is such a useful tool. And I'd love you to share with us some really practical steps on how we can put this growth mindset into our mind and into our life. Because, you know, at this moment, it feels like even the bravest and the most mindful of us have potentially slipped off into a fearful state.
So I think you've whatever mindfulness, meditation, relaxation, whether it's cooking, mindful cooking, reading, yoga, you have to connect to those things, and you have to do them more so than ever. So whatever routine or habits work for you, embrace them. Positive self-talk, really learning how to change that negative inner dialogue with yourself. And also coming back to, even though we're in such flux and we don't know when we'll travel, and we're lucky here in Sydney, other places in the world, it's a lot, you know, even what Melbourne's gone through, it's a lot tougher. Remembering what you're still in control of. So you're still in control of who you can talk to, who you engage with, what you think. So coming back to what's still in your sphere of control, there's lots that we can't control anymore, but focus on what you can do, because that can give you that sense of, rather than free falling, you know, I don't know where I fit in what's happening in my life anymore. I can't make any plans. You can still make small, tiny, you know, incremental plans which connect to what you're in control of, and also your positive talk. So it's, you know, the news is incredibly depressing. Limit your you know, exposure to, and your children's exposure to the news at the moment. Not that we're not dealing with reality, but it's that what we feed our brain becomes our sort of norm. So really building that, if the number one thing I can say, it's building that self-care habit. What works for you, focus on that and do that as much as possible. So walking, cooking, yoga, meditation. I do visualization morning and night. I journal, and part of my journaling is what went well today, because it's really easy for us to get caught in the what went wrong and everything's falling apart, as opposed to what went well today, and sleep.
So when you were talking about the growth mindset connection and positive self-talk, can you give us a framework on how we might do that? That won't feel like we're lying to ourselves, or we're trying to, because, you know, and I think we've talked about this before, is, you know, when you try to convince your conscious of something you don't believe in, it can actually be rejected. So how can you do positive self-talk even in the midst of, you know, self-consciousness or you know, a falling level of confidence?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, how do you want to feel? So you can, as you start your day, choosing the emotions you want for the day rather than letting the day just unfold. So consciously, as you wake up for the day, choosing that, how I want to feel. I want to feel positive today. I want to find some level of joy today. I want to see humor, or some, you know, have fun today. Actually directing your mind or your outlook of what you want, rather than letting the day unfold to you, going straight to social media, which triggers lots of feelings for people, or turning on the news. So, I mean, starting the day with a conscious intention of how you actually want to feel. I want to feel grateful for you know, my health, my situation. So and also these self-care habits over time become rituals, and that they become positive habits for yourself. So it's ways, shortcuts. So habits are basically our behavioral shortcuts, because if we didn't have these shortcuts or habits, we'd be overloaded with so much stimulation.
Yeah, exactly.
From hearing, seeing, everything. So by repeating things that might seem a little funny, or like, oh, this is weird, my intention to myself in the mirror, over time, that's going to become a repetition, and, you know, seep into your mindset, rather than, God, today's going to be a bad day. So The other thing is choosing wording. No one can choose your wording. It's got to resonate with you. So if something does feel strange and not authentic, phrase it like, this may feel, unusual for me, but I want to feel positive and I want to have a great day.
I love that.
Picking
really
that wording.
practical, useful step-by-step advice. So we're going to invite our readers, or whoever's watching this today, to take that small action into the growth mindset, to set yourself up by starting the day right with some very clear intentions. Maybe change your habit of reaching for the phone and checking your social or checking your emails, and instead putting your feet on the ground and saying, you know what, today I want to feel joy, I want to feel relaxed, I want to navigate work with ease, I want to not fight with my children, and I want to go to bed feeling accomplished and happy. So if we can start that.
Exactly. And I also think having a buddy. So having a buddy that, like we have gym buddies, having an emotional well-being buddy is a really good thing to keep yourself in check, like saying what you want to do for yourself. So,
so they hold that space, and then, the accountability.
Accountability to you. And no one wants to consciously feel negative, down, depressed all the time. So we don't, but we can fall into that. We can fall into anger, resentment, and unhappiness. So we need to push ourselves and consciously decide, okay, this is what we want for ourselves. And I mean, there is some thought that a new habit is built in 3 weeks. The start of a new habit is 3 weeks, and it becomes an unconscious behavioral choice at 3 months. So we've got 3 months till Christmas. How do you want to see yourself for to Christmas? So we talked about this as a future self session we'll do together, but really planning what you want for yourself is also.
And I always say, what I've said in my book, Rescue Me, what I say every time I give an interview is, every day is New Year's Day. You don't have to wait for midnight on any particular random day. Today is New Year's Day. Who do you want to be tomorrow? Who do you want to be in 31 days? Who do you want to be in 3 months? And if just from today you decide to have that growth mindset, in 3 months, you really can be a different person.
Yeah, and the other point with growth mindset is Carol makes it very clear that you can go into fixed mindset mode, go back into growth mindset, but you want to pull yourself out of fixed mindset. So fixed mindset is, I'm no good. Of course I was going to muck this up. Look, this always happens to me. All that talk, you really got to learn how to shut that down, whether it's going for a big walk, ringing a friend, your buddy. Shut that sort of habit of doing that to yourself down.
I love it.
And moving towards growth mindset.
I'm going to link to your app at the bottom of this, because your app is like fantastic, and it reminds you, the reminders are fantastic, the resources are fantastic, and I really appreciate it. And also to the article that you've written for us. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.